Hey there, YouTubers. This is John with DaniJohnson.com, and I'm here to remind you that today and tomorrow are the last 2 days of 2015 for you to get registered for First Steps to Success in the Entrepreneur Workshop. That means if you need a last-minute deduction, credit, write-off, or expense, this is the perfect opportunity for you. So get on down to that link down there, or this one right up here, and you'll get registered. And in the meantime, I wanted to bring you some content. I'm bringing you a clip from last January's Entrepreneur Workshop. Dani did a great job that day, and we just thought we'd share a little bit of it with you. So, hope you're doing great. Hope you're going to have a happy New Year's Eve and an awesome New Year's, and I look forward to seeing you in January in Orlando. All right, bye-bye now.
Get, number 3, good at closing. Get good at closing. We've talked a lot about that here this week, and this morning I laid out a simple plan of closing. It's leveraging and edification and asking the closing question, are you in or out? I gave another example of another close of what did you like about what you just saw? Tell me more about that. Okay, that's page 22 in the script book. Key to duplicating closing is using a script. Don't go off of the script. Stick to the script. That makes it that everybody can do it. Everyone's going to have different varying numbers, and guess what determines the variances in numbers? The variance in desire. The only thing that changes the numbers from one person to the other is their desire and their belief. That's it. A close is a close is a close is a close. A close is simple. But what determines whether or not someone's got a 10% closing ratio or a 90% closing ratio is their belief and their desire. That's it. That's all. Most people will not do what it takes to build their belief and build their desire. That's it. Many people get settled for less and they stop at 10% or 20% or 30%. They just get comfortable right there. And they're good with that. But what determines whether or not you go the distance and build up higher closing ratios is belief and desire. That's it. It hasn't got to do with how many teeth you got in your mouth. It has nothing to do with how big your nose is. It has nothing to do with the color of your skin. It has everything to do with your desire. That's it. Desire that begets belief. That's all. Okay? So get great at closing. Don't settle for less. Don't pull out right before you're about to hit it big. Many people do that. Don't think that you can't do it, because you can. Remember what I said? The difference between those who close at 10% and 90% is what? Their belief and their desire. See, it's your desire that makes you go past the 10% closing ratio. It's your desire that makes you go past the follow-up call, the second follow-up call, the third follow-up call, the 20th follow-up call. That's desire and belief, okay? Okay, how many of you do live presentations? Okay, how many of you do not? Okay, what do the rest of you do? You think about presentations. Okay, get awesome at edification on all fronts, especially for a presentation. Get awesome at that. Prospect and close your way to millions. Who owns Prospect and close your way to millions? Good job. It is awesome. Prospect and close your way to millions. And here's another one, okay? And this is one of the things that I did to train my nonverbal communication. Hugely important was dynamic duplication. Oh my gosh. Dynamic duplication, you got that. It's powerful. It's basically part of a First Steps to Success on video. That's basically what it is. And what it is that I want you to study my body language. Study that. Begin to walk in that. When I was very young and unfruitful in my business, when I was trying to learn how to walk and talk in this industry, there was 1 month, I don't know where I got the idea from, but there was this 1 month that I would show up to my office at 6 a.m. And at 6 a.m., I would watch for 2 hours, 2 videos of a millionaire. And I would watch as though I was watching it for the very first time. And I sat there and I studied and I took notes. The next day, I would show up to the office at 6 a.m. and I muted the video. And all I did was studied the way that he moved, the way that he talked. I studied his body language. The following day, showed up at 6 a.m. I played the video, listened, and watched. The following day, mute. Every other day, listened and watched. Every other day, just studied the body language. That month, I took a failing location that my upline, who was super successful for months, he was there for 3 months and couldn't close a single deal. I closed $50,000 myself and help everybody else close $250,000 in sales in a location that had nothing going on. Why? Guess what happened? Then I swallowed a stupid pill. The next month, I started showing up at the office at 9 o'clock. I took 2-hour lunches. Why? I stopped pressing play. Do you know that month that I did that volume, I made just under $21,000, and that was my last check. The next month, I stopped pressing play. And the next month after that, see, that was April that I did a $50,000 myself, $250,000 total. You ready? May, nothing. Then check this out. June 7th, I met my husband. Sorry, June 9th, I met my husband. June 16th, I got married. Do you know the rest of the story? July, he cheated on me with his best friend's wife, and they'd only been married for 2 weeks. August, we moved to Hawaii. October, he moved to Japan. December 1st, my bank account was drained. My credit cards were maxed out. All because I stopped pressing play. All because I stopped pressing play. What would have happened if in May that I still showed up at 6 a.m. and I pressed play for 2 hours, and every other day I watched and listened, and the other day I just watched? Could you imagine? Look at the momentum that I had right in front of me. But what did I do? I started sleeping in, showing up at 9, feeling really hot and good about myself because I was able to do something that my sponsor couldn't do. Got a big head, totally unfocused for 1 whole month, riding on the cloud of the great success I just had, full of myself. Some guy bats his eyes and his butt at me. It was over. Seduced off of the path, no longer teachable, no longer hungry, completely distracted for months because I stopped pressing play. Scary, isn't it? Isn't that doesn't it show you how powerful our minds are? How quick we can get off track and go and be a train wreck? So you never guess what happened. When I was homeless, right, and I started my business now that December 26th, do you know what I did? I pulled out my boombox, I pulled out some tapes that I had, and you'll never guess what I did. That once I heard that voice tell me to pick up my mat and walk, do you know what I went back to doing? I didn't have a house, so I couldn't press play on a video. Do you understand? But I had a boombox. I had my car with a tape player. And do you know what I had playing around me? And do you know how often I had them playing? 24/7. 24/7. Why? Because my mind beat me up in my sleep. How many of you have ever had your mind beat you up in your sleep? Yep. So I had 24/7 something going into my ears. 24/7 talking to me, edifying me, building me back up, reminding me of what I'm doing, where I'm going, and how I'm going to get there. I controlled my mind by what went into my ears. Do you understand? Do you know that I don't have to listen 24/7 anymore, but do you know that I have to listen still every day? Every day. Get in the habit of that. Get in the habit of that. I still have to. There's been times in my life where I stopped. Oh my gosh. Worst thing. It's amazing. It's amazing how easy my mind can go back to thinking like it was trained to think when I was a little kid. So easy. Why? Because the tapes are there. And if I don't have something new playing and something fresh playing, something that is reviving me, directing me, I always go back to that old stuff. You can't afford to do that. You can't afford to do that. So get in the habit of training yourself. Get in the habit of training your nonverbal communication. You just need to accept. You just need to accept that this is your life. Don't dread that I got to listen to something all the time. What a privilege that you have something to listen to all the time. What a privilege. All humans are listening to something all the time. Are you listening to me? All humans are listening to something all the time. The question is, what? What are they listening to? You're precious. I know you are, which I think is awesome. Because you have results. It's amazing. So I'm telling you right now, just accept it. Just as you have to accept that you are going to be recruiting for the rest of your life. Whether you like it or not, everything that we're going to show you how to do is become a greater leader. A greater leader has to move their own excuses out of the way. They have to move their own fears out of the way. A greater leader has to get out of their own way. A greater leader has to put other people's goals first and not their own. A great leader is a servant, not a dictator. Wrap your head around this. You need to recruit daily with a much bigger picture in mind. And you need to build your faith, and you need to control what goes through your head. And here's what happens. How many of you have a certain musician you like to listen to a lot? Okay. And that musician, how many of you can almost sing like them, at least in the shower? Right? With your earbuds in, blasting loud, right? Okay. And yeah. Okay, so listen. How many of you know the words by heart? And how many of you can even say it in the same spirit, right? How much money is that song making you? Right? What would happen if you listened to Prospect and Close Your Way to Millions so many times through? What would happen if you watched Dynamic Duplication so many times through? What would happen if you had listened to Insider Secrets so many times through? It teaches you how to work with your people. That's what Insider Secrets is. How to work with the people. The 5 different types of people you have in your business, how to identify them, and how to talk to each one of them to maximize the potential that is in them, because not everybody is as committed to you. So how do I work with these 5 different types? What would happen if you had listened to that so many times that you had that thing memorized? And that when you encountered that social distributor, you opened your mouth and all of a sudden, bam, the lyrics came out of your mouth. The next time that you had that distributor who says, I want to make a 6-figure income, but because of that CD, it taught you how to recognize who the 6-figure ones really are and who the ones are not, so that you opened your mouth as soon as you went, well, your discernment is heightened because you have this thing, it's in you, the song is in you. Just like, listen to me, come on, follow me right now. Are you with me right now? Just like when you get in your car, right, after being at work, and all of a sudden the Bluetooth picks up the next song, and here comes the first beat, and what starts flying out of your mouth? The lyrics. Hello? You even know what the next beat is, don't you? Why? Because you've heard it so many times. Success is the same way. So there you are in front of that prospect that says, I don't have the money, and bam, that's your cue, because you've listened to it so much, you open your mouth, and Dani Johnson with her posture and the words just goes, bink. Boo. You open your mouth and it flies out. It just flies right out. The attitude flies out. The belief flies out. Come on, are you checking what I'm throwing down at you? Okay? You open your mouth and bam, the posture's there, the attitude's there, the belief is there, and so are the lyrics. Now, pretty soon you're singing that same song. You use the same recipe with the same attitude, the same desire, the same belief. Do you know what happens when you hang out with people who have desire and belief? You become what you behold. You become what you behold. You become what you surround yourself with, what you put inside your ears. You become what you behold. You become where you spend time with. What you spend time with is what you become. The next time that you are around somebody that is giving you all kinds of hemming and haws, okay, you're like, psh, got this thing. Psh, CD number 7 flies out of your mouth. Track number 3. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's what happens. That's what happens. If it happens with songs, how in the world doesn't happen with everything else? It is true. So if you got the tools, you're pressing play, boom, it gets provoked right out of your mouth, and now it's just flowing. It's the same thing. Let me just ask you, who's been around for a while and you've been using War on Debt for a while? Okay? Now, how many of you don't even go near some of the old things that you used to buy anymore? Why? Because the amount of time you've spent in studying War on Debt. So now you actually see marketing. You actually understand marketing now. You actually now understand how you get tempted and seduced into things that you actually didn't even need. So it's like you're totally immune to it anymore. How many of you have grown immune to the traps that you used to buckle under? That's because you press play. Here it is. It's in your ears. It's in your ears and yours. It's getting stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger. Okay? You're going to get stronger the more time you invest, and there will come a day where that microphone is in your mouth and you are given a story that shocks you as you say it. And there will be people that will come up to you and they're going to say, you have no idea what you just said changed my life. What you just said changed my life. You're going to have people come up to you saying, do you have any idea what you've done for me? This is what's happened in my life because of the example that you set. That day is coming, friend. And it's sooner than you think. It could be right around the corner. And many more greater days are on their way from there, as long as you do what it takes to get there. I think some of you just caught a really big shortcut and secret. I think that a few people just caught that really. How did I have such fast success? I controlled what went into my head and what came out of my mouth. I controlled what went into my head and what came out of my mouth. You have the ability to control what goes into your mind and what comes out of your mouth. I controlled my daily activities. You have the ability to control your daily activities.
Welcome to the Dani Johnson YouTube channel. We're super excited to have you here. And every single week, we're gonna make sure that you get awesome videos for your business, career, making more money, saving money, annihilating your debt, as well as helping you to handle those really tough problems that you have with people at home, as well as at work, and taking those really good relationships you already have and causing them to flourish and grow. All you have to do is click that subscribe button right down here. Click that and you'll be subscribed to an amazing community of people, as well as some great videos that will help to improve your life. Thanks so much for being here. Subscribe now would be good. Just click it. I know you can see it. It's somewhere down here. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.